welcome to Gaming Ken. As always, my name is Jack, and welcome to Gaming Ken. As always, my name is Jack, and welcome to AOR GT Sport Constructors Challenge 3, also known as Season 16. And we're here at the amazing Red Bull Ring. Originally known as previously known as the A1 Ring, originally known as Oyster's Ring. This circuit has 8 corners, 6 to the right and 2 to the left. So let's see who's starting a lap, who's down at turn 1, which is Nicky Lauda. Oh well, they've just gone past turn 1. There we go, we're on with Lee the Reaper, who's just gone through Nicky Lauda curve, which is turn 1, on the long straight up to turn 2. If we were in motorbikes, that would be turn 2 there, but this is turn 2 right here, Remus. And then for another longish run down to turn 3, where the line goes across the track from the right to the left into the braking zone at Schlossfeld, and then following it round for a short straight down to Rauch, which is the first of 2 left-handers on this circuit. The second one being turn 5 at the bottom of this hill, Worth curve. As we make another run down through turn 6 there, along the straight, on to turn 7, which is Rint. And then through the Red Bull Mobile final turn and along the straight, and that is a lap of the Red Bull Ring in the Styrian Mountains in Spielberg. But let's talk about some of the implications of this race, of which, to be fair, there are really none. Because both of the championships are wound up, Teams Championship and the Drivers' Championship. Brownski has won the Drivers' Championship, and alongside his teammate Mick McNaught, they have won the Teams Championship. The team Wheelie Bad, they are the team in the colour change cars with the Pokemon on the back. I believe it's the Viper on their cars in this one, or it might be Arbok. It's one or the other. Favourite by the sound of it is Stevo in the Jag, who seems to be 2 to 3 tenths faster than anyone else in the Jag. The Jag has a lot of decent speed along the straights. H Racing Green in the Lexus could get close qualifying. The battle for P5 should be between Hasnain, Solid Ninja Snake, and Mick. That will be a battle for 5th championship. The Fords of Solid Ninja Snake and Hasnain are pretty quick along the straights. The Dodge does struggle along the straights here. It is much better through the corners than it is on the straights. However, Mick is the driver on form, as we see him leave the room. And very few drivers will be able to make it to the end on fuel. This is not because the tyres being particularly bad. Around here, So the pit window could be bigger than usual. It is still definitely a 1 stop, maybe a 0 stop if someone is super brave. Out of the main protagonists, that being the Lexus, the Dodge, the Fords and the Jags, the Jag has the best start, followed by the Lexus, then the Dodge and both the Fords on the start. Ferrari has the best start around here. However, to be fair, it's not so much down to the car as it is the driver as well. Sprint race will be fuel and tyre saver, but not to the same extent as it was last week. It will be a 0 stop for most people, and the top guys will probably struggle for a podium. So we shall see how that goes. There's a lot. This is a track with some very hard braking zones, very long straights. So the form book does often go out the window around here. It's all about maximising the exits and making the overtakes when you can in slipstream along the straights, and also hoping that you don't clatter anyone into turns 1 and 2, the heaviest braking zones on the track. However, turn 3 also a pretty heavy braking zone where lots of mistakes can be made. Evidence of this firsthand when I almost punted Hasnain off at turn 3 in the Group 4 Cup, when I thought, you know what, no stop on this tyre, that's a great idea. So it is something we'll be looking out for. Hopefully we won't have any incidents near the start. Then we'll look at the obviously this is a 2 race round, feature race and a sprint race. The feature race will be, find the count for this. It's 25 laps for the feature race on the medium tyres. The grid based off qualifying results. The qualifying will also be on medium tyres. It is a staggered release super pole style qualifying. The sprint race will be on the softest 12 lap rolling start based on the reverse of championship standings. The previous winner was Hasnain, and the AOR GT4 lap record here around the Red Bull Ring is 1 minute 36.4. That was done by Ragnar Kagari in CC1 in the first Constructors Challenge, when he drove the Group 4 Citroen on medium tyres. Ragnar Kagari is the one in the Porsche there, with the livery inspired by Ridge Racer. Now the qualifying order and the sprint race order are reverse championship. So we'll start with Heine, then Wedgebo. Then we will have Ronan GT Delaney, then Megas, who was calling Mega, because that was his original PSN, who was up until this week has gone by Communist Minion. Then after that we've got Jamie 9 Million, Bloody 9, Lee the Reaper, Jutgo, Mick Mac Mock, Solid Ninja Snake, then Hasnain, then Ragnar Kagari, H Racing Green, Stevo, then Brown. Now for qualifying, H Racing Green will be the last out of the pits, as he is the one who is making sure everyone, tells everyone when to go. So he will start 14th in the sprint race and will be the last out in qualifying. Qualifying is to be about 10 minutes. A group of 7 will be released to do their lap, and then once they've done their out lap, they will go for a push lap. Once everyone from the first group has finished their push lap, we will go and release the second group once everyone is back in the pits. As we see Heine coming through Worth onto turn 6, making his way down to Rent. And through the Red Bull Mobile corner. And he crosses the line to start his onto Nicola. The curb as wide on the entry as possible, clipping the curb but not hitting that sausage curb to try and maximise his acceleration point on the exit, making his way up the hill towards Lewis. Again braking as far off to the left as possible, over to the right to flip that apex back out to the left, using as much of the curbs as possible but still avoiding the sausage curbs. You see him moving over to the right and then back to the left, braking into Schlossgold. Even turn 3, making their way to Rauch. First of 2 left-handers on this circuit, down the hill and into Worth curve through turn 6. The Aston should be not too bad around here, should be a pretty quick car. Enough horses to keep it in the mix as it comes through Rin. A bit bumpy on the coming through there, but manages to hold it, maximise it. Go too wide onto the curb there, you will get a penalty. That is a 1:37.8. Let's see, where is Wedgebo? Who's next up? Here we go, Wedgebo in the Toyota. In the Gaming Kid Toyota, making his way down there, coming across the line, 1:37.0, provisional pole as it currently stands. Next we have Ronan GT Delaney in the McLaren, 1:37.2. Next up we have Megas, who is making his way through the T-Mobile Red Bull Mobile corner on the power down at the straight, and that is a 1:36.2. That gives him provisional pole, I believe. It does indeed. Provisional pole for now for Mega. J89 million, 1:36.1 gives him provisional pole now. Next up we have the Ferrari of Bloody 9. Across the line, 1:37.6, puts him behind Ronan and GT Delaney at the moment. Next up is the second McLaren with Lee the Reaper. Crosses the line, 1:37.0. Next up we have the Rozier, second Ferrari. Pacific in that iconic leading edge livery. We have Nick McNaught, then Solid and just Nick Collins, Jutton go out. Jutton go taking it fairly easy on his outlap, not pushing it too hard to spin the car, but not going so slow he's going to have that gap close up on him. You see Mick McMock behind in the colour change Dodge. And then following Solid Ninja Snake is Hasnain, then Ragnar Kagari. As we come to Rouch, after Ragnar Kagari is LJM Stevo, currently second in the championship, who will be followed by Borowski, our current champion. And will be followed out by H Racing Green, the reigning champion, who I believe is the reigning champion from season 15. But here we go. Jungle coming down now, crosses the line, starts his flying lap, makes his way up to Nikolai's curve. Again, staying on the left, braking, hitting that apex. Coming back out wide, not hitting that sausage curve. That sausage curve will slow you down, or can just pull you into it and get you a nice big penalty. As he makes his way up through MotoGP turn 2 up to the actual turn 2 for our purposes. Again, braking as far off to the left as he can, touch the apex, and makes his way out to the left of the circuit again. Now then the source rolls. Staying as close to that curve as possible, then cutting back in for Rouch. Uses that slightly raised curve to help him turn on the apex, down the hill through Worth Corner. Stays close to the curb there for turn 6, makes his way to Rint. Makes his way down the hill into Red Bull Mobile Corner. Let's see where he ends up. That is a 1:37.1. Next up is Mick McMock, who goes 1:36. That puts him behind Jamie and Mega. 1:36.7. Next up is Solid Ninja Snake, who crosses the line, takes provisional pole with a 1:36. Next up is his teammate Hasnain coming through Rint there, coming down the hill to Red Bull Mobile. Back on the power for the straight. Crosses the line 1:36.0, puts himself behind his teammate. Next up in the Porsche Cayman is Ragnar Kagari. 4-time champion here at AOR, one of the best qualifiers on the grid at the moment. Puts himself in 5th. Next up we have LJM Stevo in the Jag. Makes his way across the line 1:36.0, puts himself on pole position. Next up we have Borowski in the Dodge Viper with the R-Box on the back. And he crosses the line, takes pole 1:35.9. Next up we have the Lexus of Borowski, of H Racing Green even, sorry, who crosses the line 1:35.7 and takes pole position. H Racing Green has the most pole positions of anyone on the grid. We currently have Ryan Gary there in 8th position doing donuts, so your grid is H Racing Green on pole, followed by Borowski, who is 1/10 behind. 600ths of a second behind him is LJM Stevo, then a further 100th of a second behind Solid Ninja Snake, who 6,000ths of a second 0.006 seconds behind is his teammate Hasnain. We are then followed by Jamie 9 Million, who is 1.5 tenths behind Hasnain. 700ths of a second back is Mega, then 0.1 seconds behind, 0.16 seconds behind is Ragnar Kagari. With 3.5 tenths behind them, Mick Mac Mock. Then 2.5 tenths behind that. Behind him is Lee the Reaper. Wedgeable in 11th, 0.04 seconds, 0.05 seconds behind Lee the Reaper. A further 100th and a half behind that. Behind Wedgie is Hein. Then Juttengo down in 13th, just under a tenth of a second, with Ronan GT Delaney half a tenth behind, and then Bloody Nine 4 tenths behind Ronan GT Delaney. I expected the Ferraris to be quite good around here, quite quick through the corners. Whether that is the case or not, we will see in the race. But we have many down at turn 1 doing some donuts, celebrating the end of the season. This is the final race of this season. We will have 2 weeks off after this. Both weeks we will have social races. Then after that we are on to the Group X Cup, which will be in the Alpine VGT. I'm excited to see some of the liveries that others will be using. I am confident that the bleeding edge variant of the car will have this. I've been working on the Gaming King car myself. I'm excited to see all the colours that everyone else wants to use. Mine has ended. There you go, just confirmation of the grid there. Not that it stays on the screen for very long. But on the front row, you have H Racing Green and Brownski, followed by LGM Stevo and Solid Ninja Snake, then Hasnain and Jamie, then Mega and Ragnar Kagari, then Mick and Lee, then Wedgie and Hein. Behind them is Juttengo, Ronan GT Delaney and Bloody Nine. You hear the drivers revving up their engines, ready to go, and we are up for round 8, the finale of the Constructors Challenge. Everyone getting a good getaway. H Racing Green defending the inside there, as Brownski looks to make a move on Stevo, who's got past him at the start there. Ragnar Kagari is still 8th there, Mega in 7th, Jamie 9 Million in 5th, has overtaken Solid Ninja Snake. Hasnain now with penalty, serving that as close to off the racing line as possible, but has still managed to maintain his 4th position. Get rid of some of the screen. As we see Brownski trying to keep up with everyone else. Let's see where the Ferraris are, how they're doing. Juttengo in 11th, and Bloody Nine up in 12th, as Ronan GT Delaney, by the looks of it, is off into the gravel. Trying to get a replay camera up, but it is not wanting to work. But here we go, we've got H Racing Green, LGM, Stevo, Brownski and Hasnain all there up the front. Everyone is pretty close together. We've got Jamie 9 Million up in 5th, being hurried and harassed by Solid Ninja Snake there. 8 tenths off, 2nd is the effective slipstream. cars. And you see here a Ford Mustang sandwich making their way through Nicky Lauda curve. Everyone looking to survive there, as everyone is as far off to the right as can. You start seeing people going off to the left, as we see LGM's making the ground outside of Cage Racing Green. Side by side coming through the corner. Steve will get the better launch out of the corner. And now Cage Racing Green cuts up into the slipstream. And pulls out. Maybe look for a move down the inside at turn 3. Thinks better of it. Having to not only attack LJM Steve but also defend from Brownski, who has name right behind. There we go, everyone all the way down to I believe that's 10th position with Lee the Reaper in shot there. A nice close battle in the top 10. Everyone kind of keeping each other honest. Any mistakes compel any of the drivers further up the field, and we're on lap 2 of 25. We're about to start lap 3. You see pit entry there, that every driver will likely need to go through there at least once. The driver's saying firework isn't too bad around here. Could probably go all the way as per the field. However, most drivers will want to try and do the best and push, get the best position possible, especially with everyone being so close. Slipstream being a big factor here, as we see Solid Ninja Snake there in the slipstream of Jamie 9 million in the background. We also see Mega pulling out, looking for a move down the inside of Solid Ninja Snake perhaps, as Cage Racing being trying to go around the outside of Steve-O. Couldn't quite make it work there. But now we see Steve-O and Green building a bit of a gap to Brownski and the rest behind. However, still staying close enough that should a mistake occur, they can definitely capitalise on it. As we see Hasney there, just hurrying and harassing the dodge of Brownski. You see Mick Mock in there, and Ragnar Gary, Jamie 9 million, Mega, Ragnar Gary. Nice big battle there. Remember, Hasney, Sorrel, Ninja Snake, and Mick Mock all fighting for 5th position in the championship. Brownski already has the title wrapped up, and alongside his teammate Mick Mock has the team's championship in the bag, regardless of what happens here. There you go, you see Jungo in the background there, alongside someone else coming through turn 1. Netflix Coca-Cola Jaguar there, as we see Solid Ninja Snake on the inside. And we see Hasney on the inside of Brownski. Hasney getting past Brownski, but Solid Ninja Snake not able to do the same to Jamie 9 million. Ford also having to cry out on Mega there. Lee the Reaper getting past Mick Mock and Ragnar Kagari there. Ragnar Kagari dropping down from 8th to 10th. As we come down to Ram's Curve, this is us now on the downhill section of the course. From Nicky Lauda Curve to Remus, from turns 1 to 2 is all uphill, the rest on the track is all downhill. As we see Mega Solid Snake and Jamie 9 million battling away for 5th position. LGM Steve-O, H Racing Green and Hasney still the top 3. Brownski not far behind. As we see Solid Ninja Snake right up behind. Now pull alongside. The Aston dodges, the Aston Jags and the Fords are all quite powerful and quite quick on straights. Solomon Snake makes it past Jamie, but Jamie seems to have a bit more speed coming out on turn 1. Might make another pass on the way up. Mega 2 wheels on the grass there, boxed in by Jamie and Solid. Solid pulls out inside a little bit there. Gives Mega some room to work with. Mega now getting past Jamie 9 million. And Lee the Reaper now on the attack. Lee the Reaper, a bit more speed coming out on the turn, but is unfortunately boxed in by Mega because he has nowhere to go to get past, which has also allowed Mick Mac to get into this as well. And Ragnar Gary staying close enough to be a threat should anyone make a mistake here. We're focusing mostly on the top 10 for this race. It would indeed seem, particularly this battle for 5th. Solomon Snake now making a gap with all the battle going on behind him. As we come through turn 6, continuing down the hill, we're on lap 5 of 25, about to start lap 6. I imagine if anyone's going to make a pit stop, they're going to make it roughly about between laps 11 and 15, I would say, is probably the pit window, 11 to 15, as we see Lee the Reaper moving out, trying to get aggressive on Megas, no, on Jamie even, trying to squeeze him into the apex. It hasn't quite worked, but he's got better traction coming out of turn 1. Has got back past Jamie, but will the power of the Jag make the difference on the climb up the hill to turn 2? He has managed to clear a gap. Ragnar Gary has got past Mick Mac. Ragnar Gary round the outside at turn 2, tries to get the traction on Jamie, doesn't quite manage it. This has allowed Mick Mac to get in past him as well. As we come up to turn 3, and we are coming back down the hill now. Jamie going a little bit wide there. That will allow Mick Mac and Gary to get a bit of a run on him. As we also see in the background there, that looks like Bloody 9. It is indeed Bloody 9. Bloody 9 managing to close the gap up a bit with all the battling going on. We also see Heinlein and Jutton go back there as well. The guys further back now managing to close up a bit of a gap. We now see H Racing Green has got past LGM Stevo once again up front, and Hasnane is now on the attack, and Brownski has managed to close that gap back up once again, but H Racing Green is running off into the distance at the moment, as it would indeed seem. We also see back there Solomon the Snake closing the gap up to Brownski. That formed through all the battling that's going on ahead. Mega in a bit of a gap of his own. He's got a second either side of him. No slipstream for him, but he's not giving anyone else any slipstream. But also in a bit of a no man's land. Jamie has cut turn 1, presumably, and has a 2.5 second penalty, which he serves coming up to turn 2, which allows Ragnar Gary and Mick Mac to make a pass, and also allows Bloody 9 to get a better run out of turn 2 and start closing up the gap. Behind Bloody 9 is Heinlein, who has Jutton right behind Jutton, looking to close the gap up, make a move. And we have Ronan GT Delaney in 4th, Wedgie Bolt down in 15th. Gaming Kin Racing team not doing particularly well in this season due to car choice, it would seem. I hear a lot of talk of the car being a bit on the underpowered side for the team, and they are unable to maximise it. However, Ronan GT Delaney has indeed made his way past Heinlein into 13th position after being on the gravel trap at turn 3 on lap 1. So this is a good recovery drive from Ronan GT Delaney, as we are now just about to go on to lap 8 of 25. But let's pop back up here. We've got Ragnar Gary there. Mick Macmock with a 1 second penalty. Has Jamie 9 million right behind, and Bloody 9 has closed that gap back up. Everyone is seemingly closing up to everyone else once again. People further ahead starting to back off a little bit. And this is allowed, and serving that penalty has allowed Jamie 9 million and Bloody 9 to catch up, jump go there right behind them. With Jamie 9 million now in the slipstream, heading into turn 3. Jamie pulling out a little bit, not looking to make a move, but let Mick Maclock know that he is indeed there. As they come down to Rouch, down the hill into Worth, which is turn 4 and 5. There's turn 4, then turn 5. Make their way through turn 6 towards Rent. As let's have a look up front, H Racing Green. That gap back to Stevo has closed down a little bit, down to around about 8 tenths per second, which is roughly slipstream range around here. H Racing Green using as much of the track as possible for the corner there, as we see LGN 21 has been battling through the corner. Alpine losing out a bit there by the looks of it. Brownsky right behind in the slipstream, pulls out, looking to make a move down inside at Remus, but no, Hasney has a penalty, opts to serve it on straight here, which lets Brownsky pass and goes wide at Remus. Will now likely let his teammate pass if he's going to let anyone past. However, his teammate is not catching quick enough to make a move into turn 3 and will therefore not be let past. The Ford Mustangs pretty quick on the straights around here, and this course is mostly straights or high throttle areas, so this is definitely a car you want around here. Behind Hasney and Solid Ninja Snake you have Mega, then Lee, then Ragnar. Rounding out the top 8. Behind Ragnar you've got Mick Macbot, Bloody 9 and Jamie 9 million all fighting for the 9th position. Jutgo not far behind them. As we see Bloody 9 there right behind Jamie 9 million. Just looking for a way past. Tucking into that slipstream, 2 tenths of a second gap. That will come down with them being in the slipstream. Wrong button, here we go. Let's get quick on board with Bloody 9. You see his teammate just a wee bit back there. As we come up the hill toward Remus. In the slipstream of Jaguar. Will he make a move round the outside or down the inside? No. We're staying tucked right up behind. Get the power down in the slipstream. Look to close that gap up, maybe pull out to the side in the braking zone. If he spends too many laps here, this close to Jamie 9 million, he might opt for a dive bomb. On the brake a wee bit later. Let's see, let's go back to another view. As we come down the hill and into Worth Corner. And making his way to the next turn, there we go, he's alongside, might go for the dive here. Does not. Thought about it but didn't. As they come through the final turn, Bloody 9 gets a penalty, went a bit too wide there. Will need to serve that before he crosses the line again. But has instead battled away, pushed Jamie wide, and now decides to serve the penalty. Will now let his teammate by. Jamie also had a penalty, which is why he was battling Jamie there. Does allow Jumbo to make his way up into 10th position. And now we've got Jamie and Bloody side by side on the run down to turn 3. Jamie a bit later on the brakes, being on the outside, he can afford to do that. A wee bit of touching there, unsettles Jamie's car. And now opens the door for Ronan GT Delaney. As we are now on lap 11, we see some people starting to trickle into the pits, LGM Steve being the first of them. Anyone else going to pit this lap would not appear to be the case. Oh, Jamie is. Jamie going wide there. Jamie probably trying to pit, but had Delaney on the inside. As now we have H Racing Green in the lead, being battled away with by Brownski as they make their way up to turn 1. Brownski decides this is the time to stay behind. Brownski possibly hoping for a quicker pit stop than H Racing Green. Get back out quicker. Hoping that the battling will have used up more fuel, meaning the H Racing Green will have to refuel while Brownski can sit and fuel save in the slipstream. As we come through Rauch, and make our way down to Worth Corner. You see everyone using as much of that curb as they can coming down. Gotta be careful coming through here. Use as much curb as possible without going over the white line. H Racing Green looking like he's coming into the pits here. Brownski looking like he might follow. Indeed, they are racing into the pit lane. Hasney also following. Let's see who comes out of the pits first. But at the moment that gifts the lead to Solid Ninja Snake as Lee the Reaper also pits, as does Mega and Ragnar Kagari. Solid Ninja Snake gifted the lead here for now. As we've got many more people pit. Mac Mock, Bloody 9, Ronan, GT, Delaney. Jutgo, Wedgiebo staying out. Solid Ninja Snake now with a 22-second lead to LGM Stevo and Wedgiebo, as H Racing Green and Brownski come out ahead of Wedgiebo. Hasnain, Lee, Jamie all out behind Wedgiebo. As you see Mick McMuck coming out behind Ronan, GT, Delaney and Mega. Solid Ninja Snake now 21 seconds, will need to pit, but with the clean air might have been able to put in enough pace to get himself a fastest lap. See if I can there we go. There we go. Fastest lap currently held by H Racing Green, a 1:36.8. As Solid Ninja Snake now comes into the pits. So we're going to see where LGM Stevo comes out. Well, where he comes out compared to LGM Stevo, who is now coming through the final 2 corners. Pit lane is now a bit longer. There we go. We see Solid Ninja Snake coming along the pit lane, it would seem. mixer. He's on getting his tyres changed now. He's losing quite a few positions as he comes to the corner. It's going to be tight for Ninja Snake there. Comes out in 7th position. Behind Lee the Reaper has made, and Wedgeable yet to pit. Wedgeable might not need to pit. For most people it would be a one stop, could be a no stop for some. Wedgeable could be that no stop. But LGM Stable in the lead, followed by H Racing Green with a slightly bigger gap than pre-pithing is Brownski, followed by Hasnain and then Lee the Reaper. Wedgeable in 6th. We see him running just a little bit wide there on tyres that weren't exactly feeling it. Solid Ninja Snake in 7th, fighting away with the Toyota. As we come into Worth, this is indeed 4th position, as there are no blue flags being waved right now. Although the Ford makes quick work of the Toyota on the straight. As we then see Ragnar Gary coming through the final corner, not far behind, followed by Megas, Mick McMock, Juttengo, Jamie 9 Million, Bloody 9, Ronan GT and Heineheim at the back. We'll have a Hasnain is there coming up the hill, as Solid Ninja Snake and Lee the Reaper behind. Lee the Reaper once again in a Ford sandwich. This seems like a regular occurrence this season. As we make our way to turn 3. Lee the Reaper trying to get into slipstream range. Make a pass coming into one of the braking zones. But Hasnain doing well to maintain that gap and even grow it on the straights. The Ford's very quick on the straights. Power circuits are the Ford's friend, as Hasnain runs wide there and is lucky to not receive a penalty. As we have Solid Ninja Snake trying to close the gap down to Lee the Reaper. And through the corners, McLaren has the advantage over the Ford, but along the straights, the Ford is much quicker than most of the other cars on this grid. As we make it up this straight here to turn 2. We'll have a look near the front. We should see H Racing Green and Brownski not too far behind. LGM Steve, I believe, yet to win a feature race. I believe he's won some sprint races, but yet to win a feature race. Here in AOR GT Sport. Back with Lee the Reaper, we have Solid Snake right behind. He's trying to close that gap down on Hasnain through this section where the McLaren should be slightly stronger than the Ford. But Solid Ninja Snake closing that gap. As they make their way to turn 7. And we're on lap 16 of 25. You see Solid Ninja Snake. Let's get a look from Solid Ninja Snake's point of view. Solid Snake closing up really quick there. Solid Snake now on the straight, has the slipstream, could make the move into turn 1. Was looking at it, was thinking about it. Just going to get as close as possible, make a turn, get on the inside. Doesn't quite make it work. As the Ford now goes down into turn 3, still behind the McLaren. Still doing their best to put Lee the Reaper under pressure. Solid Ninja Snake all over the wing mirrors of Lee. This is allowing Ragnar Kagari to close the gap a little bit. Now they're side by side coming into turn 7. Solid Ninja Snake now ahead by breaking point, gets ahead, but Lee the Reaper still in the slipstream, can still make the move if he can get the acceleration out of the corner, which he does, but it's probably not enough to make a move into turn 1, but if he keeps behind, could make it into turn 2. Tucking into the slipstream there. As they make their way to the break point, and Solid Snake stays ahead, but Lee the Reaper gets much better traction out of the corner. He's going to try to go side by side on the run down to turn 3. He's going to have to outbrake him. Coming down into turn 3, gets the job done, kind of keep him behind for the coming laps. Now you see this back and forth between Solid Ninja Snake and Lee the Reaper. Solid Ninja Snake deciding staying behind just now is probably the best option. Is going to practically push Lee the Reaper through these corners, fill up all the mirrors. Likely make the move into turns 1 or 2. And come through 7 and 8. About this lap point. As we make our way down to turn 1. Solid Ninja Snake still staying behind, 4/10 of a second behind. Losing a bit of ground on corners. Makes our way up to turn 2, through the corner. And along to turn 3. Solid Ninja Snake looking to get past. Let's have a look towards the front. H Racing Green has cut that gap down to half a second to LGM Stevo ahead, and has increased the gap back to Brownski from about 1.5 seconds to about 3 seconds. Again, Brownski already has this championship won regardless of what happens here, and alongside his teammate has won the team's championship regardless of the result here also. Such is the performance of the really bad racing team in the Dodges. As we see H Racing Green in the Lexus chasing down LGM Stevo on the final 5 laps of this feature race in the Jag. Making their way up the hill. Not making a move, not finding a move. Staying in the slipstream, closing the gap down bit by bit as we continue along the hills of the Styrian Mountains here and the Red Bull Ring. Coming down into the two left-handers of turns 4 and 5, Rauch, then Worth. That gap staying around about half a second. Let's check back in on the battle between Lee the Reaper and Solid Ninja Snake. Lee the Reaper managing to get a bit of a gap on Solid there. Solid no longer in slipstream range. Lee now trying to make the gap between himself and Hasnain smaller. Trying to chase down Hasnain for the last 4 laps of this race. Let's have a look further back on the grid. Try to look here. Got Mick Mock there, and we've got Mega and Juttengo. Juttengo just outside the slipstream range of the Aston Martin. Has now made it into slipstream range. Looking to close the gap down. Find a way further up the grid to get points. More points for the leading edge Marguerite Motorsports team. As Mega tries to close down on Mick McMock from Wheelie Ban Racing. Mega representing the Black Dragon Racing team. Then further down the grid you have Bloody 9 and Jamie 9 Million. Kind of in a wee bit of gaps of their own. Ronan GT behind. Ronan GT Delaney behind. Further down you have Heinheim and Wedgiebo battling out for the wooden spoon as it is currently. Heinheim with his window wipers on despite the fact there's no rain. As he makes his way down to Rauch and then into Worth after that, after a wee quick stint down the hill. As we have a look back towards the lead, lap 22 of 25. H Racing Green about half a second away from LGM Stevo. Still looking to bring that gap down, add to his tally of wins. Making his way through turn 3. Coming down to turn 4, which is Rauch once again. And then going for a stint downhill. Going a bit wide there, but should avoid a penalty. As they make their way through turn 6 off the exit of Worth. Gap now 3/10 of a second. As they make it through Rinth and into Red Bull Mobile. As H Racing Green gets a half-second penalty. Going out as wide as he can to give himself the best run on LGM Stevo that he can before serving the penalty. In the braking zone of turn 2. You see both drivers switching sides of the track. H Racing Green serving that penalty. Not losing particularly too much time, maybe a couple of tenths. As they make their way down to turn 3 once again, let's have a look at Lee the Reaper, who I think is about to try and make a move on Hasnain. Filling up the rear view mirrors of Hasnain. Not particularly aggressively trying to make a move, just letting them know it's there. But will likely try and make a move once the gap is a wee bit further down. Once the gap's down to about 1.5 tenths. Will likely look for the move. But Lee the Reaper right up in the slipstream, trying to outdrag the Ford into turn 1 on the inside late brake. No, it doesn't need to. He's clearly past Hasnain. Hasnain now running wide, would normally leave him at the mercy of his teammate, but his teammate's fallen a bit too far behind, but he has now got a 1 second penalty, which he will now serve on the run up to the braking point, which gives Lee the Reaper some breathing space and brings his teammate into the mix a bit more. As we make the run down to turn 3 on the penultimate lap. As we come through turns 4 and 5. Make our way to Rint, which will be turn 7. Solid and Snake in that slipstream range. Hasnain has had a struggle for that lap there. It was an unlucky penalty in his defence of his position against Lee the Reaper. As we now see LGM Stevo trying to fend off H Racing Green. H Racing Green gets a fantastic run up the hill. Looked to make a move around the outside, didn't quite make it work. Now tries for the cutback, still doesn't make it work. Puts himself back in the slipstream. Going to look for a move into turn 3. Pulls out. Tries to go the long way round. Risky move, going the long way round. Here at turn 3. Doesn't quite make it work. Battle for the lead on the last lap. And coming to turn 4 and 5. Coming down the hill. Still looking for a way past that gap, less than 0.2 of a second. H Racing Green looking for a way past, tries to go side by side with LGM Stevo, does go side by side, gets past on the exit, doesn't manage to stay ahead. These two swapping positions. It looks like LGM Stevo though has won this race, with H Racing Green in 3rd position, Brownski in 3rd, followed by Lee the Reaper, and then Hasnain and Solid Ninja Snake coming across in formation, followed then by Ragnar Kagari, then Jut and Go and Mick Mac Mock battling for the final position. Jut and Go beats out Mick Mac Mock. Then you have Mega and Bloody Nine crossing the line, followed by Ronan at GT Delaney. Then Jamie 9 million. And then following them you have Hein coming through the final turn there just now. And Wedgiebo serving a penalty, making his way through Rint. And then Red Bull Mobile to cross the line. That's 25 laps here at the Red Bull Ring for the feature race. We still have our sprint race of 12 laps to come. We have a 5-minute break, for which time we will go and check in on the drivers. I'm going to say I thought H Racing Green had that in the end there. But let's go and have a look. See how they're doing. Hello. Right.
Yeah. How?
Well, once travel restrictions were over. Okay, I think that's a good time to stop the recording.
Wait delay.
I don't care.
I felt.
So wait delay. Are you actually an assassin?
Number one
Did
name
you
is right in
start?
front of us.
But I really tried all I could, but at least half a second every lap you're just running away. And Veggie, your tires must be all red.
Did you no stop it, I guess, then? Because I thought to myself, fuck, wow, Wedgie saved a lot of fuel if he's jumped us in the stop, but no.
Well, I never pressed almost, so why is that sent?
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to talk to you guys and I wasn't even. I'd muted my headset. Lee.
Yep.
That was a great battle you had with Hasnain and Solid. I was enjoying watching that.
I suspect their tyres were not as good condition as mine.
Mm.
It's probably just the nature of the car.
I'll grab a smoke and come back immediately.
I felt like
okay?
around about lap 17 I was like 10 seconds behind even the leader, and I was like, after that I was starting to even catch the leader. So I wonder if all their if this McLaren just has the best tyre wear of the field.
Yeah.
Maybe not including the Porsche.
And also, green. That I thought you were going to have that on the last lap.
Well, the podium.
No, it's talking to Harry there. I thought he was going to have the win on that last lap.
Yeah, I mean, well, I got shafted by a penalty like a few laps from the end, which I don't understand how I got it because I was on the track. I followed Steve-O perfectly. I don't know what happened.
That was between turns 4 and 5, wasn't it? Down the hill.
It was coming out of the final corner. I don't even understand how it happened.
Oh yeah, Gavin. Yeah, I know. Well, I thought you might have got a penalty between 4 and 5 on that same lap.
That was just me backing off because I was like playing the toe because I needed to save a bit of fuel. So I didn't want to attack until the last lap, and I thought I'd actually got him with a surprise into the second to last corner, but he just had a better run through the final corner, so I didn't quite get him. And then I tried to outbrake him into the last corner, and he just bumped me on the left-hand side because he was a long way on the inside of Venice, and it just, I should have undercut him. Should have braked earlier and got underneath him and didn't think to do it. I knew he ran wide on the exit of every fucking corner as well, certainly.
Who's next?
This season, he won one last season. Last time we did this, he won at St. Croix.
I remember that you had the BMWs.
Yeah, I got fucked on tyre wear that race as well. This time I was getting
I
done
got
in
fucked
field.
by a penalty on the last corner of the sprint race, and that was entirely my own fault.
Bloody Nine, are you here?
Yes.
See, when you got that penalty, I was like, why the hell is he still battling Jamie despite the penalty? Until I realised Jamie also had a penalty. Because I turned the name tags off, so I don't see penalties above people's names. I actually had to switch to just check.
Well, for the most part, it was just trying to get out of the way, and not like try to gain undue influence, on him or anything like that. But he just kind of took the corner poorly, and I was able to get underneath him.
Yeah.
But then he more or less committed suicide. First couple of laps out of the pits because he took another penalty. He got frustrated, and then I don't know. I think it was like the frustrated wiggle of the wheel, and then he spun out.
Yeah.
Let's just say in this race, everyone's tires are going to commit suicide. So
Funeral to
be careful in the last probably 4 or 5 laps when you make moves.
Well, everyone should be careful in the opening laps as well, because if you go all out side by side in the opening laps, all that will happen is they will just die.
And Delaney, even though no one can hear you when you reply. Even though I can't hear him. Is he there? Ah, I see.
That Jaguar had so much acceleration. I could not beat him out of the hairpin.
Okay.
I had a much better line up through almost every corner except the hairpin. I just could not get him.
So how many laps was that Lexus able to do on fuel?
This is 12 laps, this one.
In the feature race, I mean.
Oh. Wait. What question did you ask?
How many laps?
How many laps were you able to do on fuel for feature race
in
conditions?
this, I did 23. I had 22 on the board. I had 22 from default, and then I put a lap in at the stop, and then saved a bit more in the final stint. So you should make it on like your regular fuel saving strategy. Most cars should make it, I think.
Yeah, I've done the sims in this McLaren. It's just doable.
You get loads of slipstream as well. Like when you're doing it, obviously by yourself, you aren't getting the tow. But the tow is obviously very beneficial for getting the slipstream. Let's take a look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
22,
right.
23 laps to that Lexus, though. This sound right from what I remember when driving it here.
I had a tow, so I was like saving like all of the second stint, pretty much. Like I pushed when I came out the pits to get the tow, and then he got a pen, which really helped me just put him inside solution range, and then until the last sort of 4 laps, I was like proper short shifting, lifting, coasting to every corner type job to make sure I made it, and had fuel to push with at the end.
I think it was from like laps 17 or 18. I realised I was starting to actually catch the leaders.
Yeah, it's because we were battling and both saving fuel, and he was on a lap older tyres than I was as well, so in the few corners he was holding me up.
Yeah. Has now installed over in the Mustangs, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think they, unless, I mean, I imagine they would have practiced enough to know that they're going to have to save a lot, because they only had like 38% left when they stopped on lap 12, which is only like, so they'll have to save a few extra percent.
It's not so much the fuel I was worried about with them, it was like tyre wear.
To be honest, tyre on the Mustang's not too bad, a little bit front heavy, but it's the fuel mainly, it seems to burn it quite badly.
So unless it was that caught them out. Because at one point, Has9 was able to pull away slightly just while I was waiting for the tyre wear to come into effect. And Solid got past us after I had a couple of botched laps. But then, all of a sudden I just started... Well, I got back past Solid. Then he couldn't maintain pace. What was this clusterfuck of ghost cars? And then the last couple of laps I got Has9. And I was starting to catch Brown, just by revving the excess fuel off. But if I had about 3 or 4 more laps, I could have had that 3rd place.
So, Delaney,
qualifying didn't really help.
Even though no one can hear you on the stream, Delaney, I just want to tell you, like, see... Yeah, no, I know you don't. I just want to let you know that it
What the hell? What the hell's a Norwegian? What is it? How many legs does it have?
I'm gonna mute everyone again. So, good luck again, everyone. And,
just before you start. But yeah, Delaney, I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that you've done that. You were having a pretty good comeback drive there as well, weren't you? It was not far off it. Just having a good comeback.
Oh shit, where's I put
Delaney. Can I do this league race with that helicopter flying over there? It will... They're flying over at this track.
Right, I will see you guys after the sprint race. Good luck and have fun and stay safe and all those things.
Jamie is dead. Jamie and Mick.
Right, we are not long away from the sprint race. We will be maybe 2 more minutes. I've had a short chat with the drivers. As you probably heard some of them. So we will hopefully be underway in less than 2 minutes. As we see Steve-O just flying it into the back there. And there's someone else. That would be Lee. So, just another confirmation. The grid order for this race is Heinheim, Wedgebo, Delaney, Mega, Jamie, Bloody Nine, Lee, Jumbo, Mick Macmot, Solid Ninja Snake, Hasname, Ragnar Kagari, H Racing Green, Steve-O, then Brownski. Again, the only reason H Racing Green left the pits before Brownski was because he was the person letting everyone out. And there we go, 8 seconds, and we will be starting the sprint race. Instead of a grid start, this is a rolling start. And once again, yep, Heinheim, Wedgebo, Ronan GT Delaney, Mega, Jamie, Bloody, Lee, John, Mick, Solid, Hasnain, Ragnar Gary, H Racing Green, LGM Steve-O, and Baranski. So you'll probably have someone start mid-corner, which is not usually a great thing. As we now see Heinheim leading the grid away to turn 1. Wedgebo taking the widest line he possibly can to keep Ronan Delaney that day. And then just check that this is right. It is indeed. As we make up to turn 2, making our way around the track, Wedgebo is being currently overtaken by Ronan GT Delaney and is under threat from Mega. Mega has made his way past. Jamie 9 million will be the next to try and make a move on. Lee the Reaper into 6th position, Bloody 9 in 7th. We've got Mick, Mac, Mock in 8th and Jungo in 9th. With Solid Ninja Snake and Hasnain behind. As we are here roughly mid-pack, watching the action in the middle of the pack unfold. try and sneak down from the Fords. The Fords are probably going to have a harder time around this track, as every car starts with 60 litres of fuel instead of 100, meaning they only have 60% of their fuel tanks, and the Ford is the most fuel hungry of all the cars, so they will need to either pit or do some fuel saving. As you see, Jacko and Solid Ninja Snake going side by side to turn 1. Solid Ninja Snake just far back, just a wee bit too far back. As Jacko hits the softest curb on the inside of the apex, sending his car out a wee bit wider than he would probably like. As we look back towards the front, Heineken making a run for it as Mega overtakes Delaney, and Delaney now in 3rd position with Wedge right behind. The battling for 2nd position has given Heineken a chance to make a run for it and escape. Wedge falling behind Jamie 9 million as Jamie 9 million goes down the inside. Wedge just tucking in there. Jamie 9 million looking to make a move next on Ronan GT Delaney. The number 68 car on the number 59 with the 79 right behind. As they come through the corner here, make their way down to Red Bull Mobile corner and back along the main straight. As everyone is fairly close together, let's see how things are further back in the field. Brownski has set the fastest lap. Brownski is currently settling down in 15th position due to the slipstream train that forms around here. It's very difficult to make an overtake as you get slipstream from people in front of you who probably have slipstream from the people ahead of them. Although LGM Stevo is just outside, just round about that cusp of slipstream range. Slipstream range is about 0.8 seconds. 0.8 seconds around here. LGM Stevo has made that gap back up as H Racing Green goes to make a move on Ragnar Kagari round to the outside. Doesn't quite make it work. Might think about the cutback. Does not. Now thinks about. Oh, I thought he was going to think about making a cut back there into turns 4 and 5. Again, has not, but might go round the outside here. No, it has gone a bit wide at the risk of a penalty there. And back out ahead of LGM Stevo. We're on lap 3 of 12 of the sprint race, with Heineken of the Black Dragon Aston Martin team out in front with his teammate Mega behind. Following them is Jamie 9 million of the JC Speed Racer Jaguar team, followed by Lee the Reaper from the Bad Boy Sim Racing McLaren team. Behind them in the really bad Dodge team is Mick Mac Mock, and then the second of the two Bad Boy Sim Racing team, Delaney, has a penalty, will serve it into the corner, try and not overtake there, and is overtaken by Solid Ninja Snake from the Sahi Kasai team in the Ford Mustang. Behind Delaney is the bleeding edge Margarita car of Bloody Nine, who's currently battling with Hasnain, who's also of the Asahi Kasai Mustangs. Behind Bloody Nine is Ragnar Kagari in the Porsche Cayman. The team is SNS Racing for Christmas, running a joke after Solid Ninja Snake being on his own and not having a team name. Was SNS Racing for Christmas during the Christmas Cup. Behind him is the Umbro Invicta Racing team. the sole driver of that team in the Lexus there, H Racing Green. Behind him is the second in the championship, LGM Stevo, also of the JC Speed Racer team in the Jaguars. Then we have in the really bad Dodge team, Brownski, our championship leader, who has won the championship at the last round. Leading edge Margarita Ferrari, the second one, car number 77, driven by Jutgo, and the Gamekin Racing team Toyota. There, being driven by Wedgebo down in last position. Was in second at the start of this race. We are now on lap 5 of 12, predicted to be a no-stop unless provided you can manage your fuel, as we see Ragnar Kagari and H Racing Green battling away. LGM Stevo right behind, gets a decent run after the scrap through turn 2, could get past Ragnar Kagari here, does get past Ragnar Kagari here, and this has also opened up the door for Brownski, but Ragnar Kagari still has the inside against Brownski. Going around the outside is a risky strategy. And Jutgo not far behind. Megas has made his way past his teammate Heine and currently has a 1.5 second gap to Heine. Heine has a penalty to serve and goes quite wide there, risking yet another penalty. Behind him is the Reaper. Heine does indeed get another half-second penalty. Heine off the track to serve penalty there, which allows the Reaper pass, but Mega has just disappeared off into the distance at the moment in the Aston Martin, the Black Dragon Aston Martin. Solid Ninja Snake has made his way up into 4th position, fighting away with Jamie 9 Million, who just edges ahead through the corner there, but Solid Ninja Snake manages to hold it on the run up to Remus, aka turn 2. Ronan GT Delaney in the slipstream of Solid Ninja Snake, as Mick Macmock and Jamie 9 Million both serving penalties will slow them down slightly. This has allowed Ronan GT Delaney to get back into it. Heine has fallen back to 8th position, serving penalties, allowed Hasnain to make up another position as well. Hasnain up in 7th position, LGM Stevo now up into 8th, with H Racing Green right behind, and Brownski in 10th. Heine falling further and further back in this race. Heine in 11th position at the moment, battling away with Ragnar Kagari. Ragnar Kagari down the inside for turns 4 and 5. Has allowed him to get past now, has Bloody 9 pushing him through turn 5, on the way up into turn 6, as they make their way towards Rint for the final downhill stretch of this track. You see Wedgebo's Toyota coming over the horizon there, as the two Margarita cars come down and both pass Pine on the final corner, as we are now on to lap 7 of 12. If any cars wish to pit, they should do so now. Mega now 8/10 of a second ahead of the Reaper, the Black Dragon and the Bad Boy Sim Racing team. Cars on the podium here, Mick Macmog of the really bad Dodge team, your team champions for this season. In 3rd position on the podium has Solid Ninja Snake right behind in the Sahi Kasai Ford. We'll keep an eye on Mick Macmock, the Reaper and Mega, as well as Solid Ninja Snake battling out for those podium positions. But let's check a bit further back. Jamie 9 Million has Ronan GT Delaney all over the back. Ronan GT Delaney looking to go round the outside of Jamie 9 Million. Again, like I said before, it's a risky strat. You can easily be pushed on to the gravel that way, as he loses the car a bit, allowing H Racing Green to get past and blocks off Hasnain. Which is allowing H Racing Green to try and make a bit of a gap to Hasnain, Brownski and LGM Stevo behind. Hasnain now side by side and ahead of Ronan GT Delaney. Brownski also side by side with Ronan GT Delaney, and LGM Stevo is there, 3 wide coming down into the final corner. We see Brownski, H Racing, Brownski, Hasney and Delaney all running a little bit wide there as LGM Steeple takes the inside line. So many cars here, I cannot tell who's who at times. As we see Ragnar Kagari also in that mix there. LGM Steeple trying to close the gap up to Brownski in the slipstream, but has Delaney alongside, trying to make a move into turn 2, but gets the better traction and keeps ahead of Ronan GT Delaney. Ronan GT Delaney trying to make a move into the corner, had opened up the door for the Porsche of Ragnar Kagari to make a move, but Ragnar Kagari got better of it. In case Ronan GT Delaney's McLaren got a bit loose and decided to wait until a couple of corners later if he could get the run on Ronan GT Delaney, and we come through Rouch and make our way down Worth corner. Let's have a look back ahead as we see Mega under attack from Lee the Reaper. They're coming down to Rin. Mega just holding the lead for now. Lee the Reaper looking for a move round, was looking for a move down the inside, and Solid Ninja Snake does make his way past Mick Macmock, and the H Racing Green is not far behind. As we see there, Solid Ninja Snake and Mick Macmock drag racing down to turn 1 in the background there. Mega still holding the lead from Lee as they make their way through Nicky Lauda on their way up the hill to Remus. Solid Ninja Snake still holding third from Mick Macmock. H Racing Green now up to 5th with Brownski in 7th and LGM Steeple in 9th. As Ronan GT Delaney makes a move on Brownski as well, takes him up to 7th. But LGM Steeple gets past Delaney, as does Brownski. Lee the Reaper now past Mega, but Mega looking to go around outside of turn 3, doesn't get his car alongside to do it. He's going to stick in the slipstream here. We're on lap 9 of 12 around Red Bull Ring for AOR GT Sport, for the finale of the Constructors Challenge. As we come through turns 5 and 6, Solid Ninja Snake still ahead of Mick Macmock to stay on podium. H Racing Green catching up though in 5th position, catching up on the Dodge of Mick Macmock, with LGM Steeple 3.2 seconds behind, quite a big gap behind, with his teammate Jamie just behind them as well. There's a big group of cars in the midfield still battling away, headed up by Brownski. Not headed up by Ragnar Kagari, which is actually headed up by, as Brownski makes his way past Jamie 9 million. There you see Ragnar Kagari in 9th with Hasnain, Bloody 9, Trapdoor. Who else behind? Someone else there that I can see. It was Ronan GT Delaney. It was indeed Ronan GT Delaney, as Ragnar Kagari 3 wide with Hasnain and Jamie. Gets past 2 in one corner. However, Hasnain having a pretty decent run out of the corner there. Jamie was a wee bit squirrely on the throttle. Once again, into turn 3, Jamie trying to make it 3 wide, but it's side by side for Ragnar Kagari and Hasnain. Hasnain getting pushed a wee bit wide out there. Both of these drivers here have been champions here at AOR. Ragnar Kagari a 4-time champion, and Hasnain the Super GT champion. Other champions on this field include Brownski, our current champion, and H Racing Green. as we come down the hill and through the final turn to start the penultimate lap. Start lap 11 of 12. Everyone going for the no-stop strategy. As we make our way through Nicola the curve, Brandon Kagari battling away with Hasnain, staying pretty close as Solid Ninja Snake has actually made it up into second position with Mega in third. Brownski, championship leader, the champion of this season, has fastest lap of 1:35.889. No points for the fastest lap in this championship, but still is bragging rights over everyone else, saying it's a bit faster round here than them, at least on 1 lap pace. And Brandon Kagari now following behind. Hasnain is battling away with Juttengo. As H Racing Green overtakes Mega and takes third position. Lee the Reaper still in the lead. Let's have a look back. Lee the Reaper in the lead. Solid Ninja Snake not too far behind. Let's see, H Racing Green still under threat from Mega if he makes a mistake. Mega getting the car a bit sideways coming through the corner there. Behind Mega is Mick Macmock and LGM Stevo. LGM Stevo has just overtaken Mick Macmock. And behind Mick Macmock is Brownski. And then Hasnain as we start the final lap. Lee the Reaper in the lead. 7/10 of a second. The McLaren ahead of the Ford of Solid Ninja Snake. And then about 1.5 seconds behind Solid is the Lexus of H Racing Green, who has just got a penalty coming out of turn 1. We'll have to serve that. Might open up a bit of a gap for Mega to come in. However, at 2.3 seconds behind is not likely. Back to serving that penalty, I think H Racing Green has actually gained time on Mega. As we see Mega battling away with LGM Stevo, who is second in this championship. And Stevo makes it past Jag versus Aston. As we see the two Dodge Vipers behind. We have Snakes from Pokemon on the back, as the Viper, and an Arbok. Arbok's on the Group 4s, and on the Group 3s, which we raced last week around Fuji, was the Vipers. As we see Hasnain battling away with Juttengo in the background. I believe it's Juttengo. It is indeed Juttengo, and Ragnar Kagari behind them, battling away with Bloody Nine. As we come to the final turn, Lee the Reaper, 1.5 seconds in the lead of Solid Ninja Snake, wins the sprint race here, and in second is Solid Ninja Snake. H Racing Green in third. LGM Stevo takes fourth position, followed by the team of Mick Macmock and Brownski fifth and sixth. Hasnain, then Juttengo, then Ragnar Kagari, then Bloody Nine. Jamie makes it across line 11th, then Mega in 12th, Ronan GT Delaney in 15th, Ronan GT Delaney in 13th, sorry, Wedgebo in 14th, and Hein in 15th. Oh, I'm out of breath after that. Congratulations to Lee the Reaper, who has won the final sprint race of the Constructors Challenge Season 16, the third Constructors Challenge here at AOR GT Sport. Next week will be some social racing, I believe. Then we've got, I think we've got 2 weeks off, and then we are back for our next championship, which will be Season 17. The Group X Cup. Hopefully I will be back to racing by then. We shall see. But after the Group X Cup, I believe we are on to Constructors Challenge number 4. So that, or we've got another short cup. But we should be back with racing in and with 2 weeks off, and then we're back to league racing. We have some social races, please join us for that. And if you're interested in AOR GT Sport, remember to check out apexonlineracing.com and look for the GT Sport forums. Oh. So as always, I've been Jack from Gaming Ken, aka GKRT Pinky Boy, and as always, there's always room for you here at Gaming Ken if you want to be our friend. And as I say far too often in these times, stay safe out there.